75 years of Graupner, 75 years of modeling innovation. You're warmly welcome. Dynamism, technology, character. That's what Graupner means today. Let's take off on a flight back into the past. To be more precisely, let's look 75 years back. In 1930, the successful history of Graupner Modellbau had begun in Stuttgart. That was when Johannes Graupner took over the Cannstatter Laubsägearbeiten from his former employer. He set up an independent company with a small number of staff. They produced wooden boards with printed designs. Customers could cut out them using a fret saw and paint them manually. A move to Kirchheim Tech, called the Flyers Town, was following. And a constantly expanding number of designs helped the infant company to grow. But fret sawing was a winter hobby. So soon Johannes Graupner started looking for a summer product. The gliders at the nearby Tech flying site inspired him to produce model aircraft on a professional basis. In 1935, he produced the first kits for model gliders bearing the Graubele brand name. In 1938, the product range was expanded when Graupner introduced the first model boat plans and kits. As early as 1934, Graupner was represented on trade fairs and on competitions. Just from the beginning, their products were sold to specialist shops exclusively. And these actions were supported by promotional material like posters and catalogs. There always was one remedy for Johannes Graupner's success: the highest possible quality, a close relationship to practicing modelers, constant innovation and professional sales. After dying all of a sudden in 1953, Johannes Graupner was succeeded by Hans Graupner, aged 24, continuing this corporate concept. In 1954, Graupner was successful in a call for tenders for a small beginner's model aircraft kit. The result was the Uhu, turning the company into their greatest sales success at that time. Flying competitions for the Uhu and for the small Uhu commenced in 1954. Also, for the following decades, millions of people were made enthusiastic about the modeling hobby. The Typhoon small diesel engine was presented in autumn 1952 as a supplement to the new items listing. In 1957, Graupner acquired the distribution of the Japanese OS model engines. Then their glow plug motors were the most successful model power plants everywhere, standing out by their manufacturing precision. In 1966, it was successful to get a model aircraft into the air driven by a Wankel engine. Thanks to the cooperation between Graupner, OS and the Lindau-based Wankel Institute, that has come true. The first Graupner radio control system was developed in 1955. The Standard 10 was the result. In 1962, Graupner started a close collaboration with Grundig, a company with considerable experience in radio technology. The result was a new generation of radio control systems, such as the Bellaphone, using 3 and 10 channels, as well as the Varioprop series. The Kapitän model aircraft firstly appeared in 1957. It proved to be a further milestone in sheer flying for fun. In 1963, Graupner organized the first ever Tech Pokal slope soaring competition, whose patron Graupner remains until today. The tech site offers a characteristic pattern of thermal conditions generating constant updraft as being excellent conditions for all gliding activities and competitions. The Tech Pokal event held annually made the Hill Tech familiar and well known to model flying circles all over Europe. Flyers and spectators alike can be sure of getting a fascinating experience. For safeguarding the raw material supply with balsa wood, there was established the EBAGEC subsidiary in Ecuador in 1976. Using renewable forestry techniques, high-quality timber is produced there. Since its foundation, EBAGEC has become a worldwide exporter of balsa. Now it is one of the largest manufacturers on its field, supplying the model building sector. Besides getting constant jobs for local people, the social aid project Hilfe für Guasmo has come into being, also supported by Graupner. It encompasses training courses, a children's crèche, a clinic, school installations and more. Also, the technical innovation moved on. In 1983, the JR company became Graupner's new partner in the radio control field. In particular, the computer-based MC and MX series being developed as joint projects between these two companies have provided a high precision level in controlling of models. In 1988, the Electro Uhu was distributed, covering the needs in electric-powered model flying in many areas. The Heim helicopter company was taken over by Graupner in 1995. In 2000, that action was followed by the takeover of GM Racing. These acquisitions have expanded the company's scope to several important product areas considerably. All of that includes high-quality speed controllers, high-performance electric motors, special battery cells and competition RC cars. In 1999, Stefan Graupner, Hans Graupner's son, became the company's managing director. And in 2000, one of the new products was the Hot Spot, the first turbine-powered model aeroplane made in series production. The Harpoon is a successful further development of this first model. The introduction of the turbine-powered NH-90 model helicopter caused great sensation in 2002. In 2004, this sensation was followed by the Turbo Raven being equipped with a turboprop engine. The 14th World Championship for F3B class radio-controlled model gliders was held on the Hahnweide field in Kirchheim-Tech in 2003. Graupner was the main sponsor of this event, where model flyers from 25 nations competed. The participants' majority placed their faith in Graupner radio control technology. In 2004, Hans Graupner celebrated his 75th birthday, coinciding with 50 years of job anniversary in the company. During the same year's Tech Pokal event, Hans Graupner was awarded the Baden-Württemberg region's Stauffer Medal for his services. Today, the Tech Pokal is the world's largest slope soaring competition. The Tech event opens up the fascination of gliding flight to young and old. The cornerstone of this continuing enthusiasm was the original Uhu competition being actual for 50 years. For all that time, the event has been a huge attraction to children and their fathers too. When the company produces a new scale model, it places great importance on scale fidelity and approach, which is reflected in this lay key. The development and production of such a model requires various working steps. Step number 1 is in the mold making department, where the original molds for the models are made from ureole. This process requires highly intensive manual working for maintaining high standards of accuracy, including detailed features, in order to achieve a faithful reproduction of the full-size machine. The new models will then be built as a working prototype for expensive testing procedures in workshop and also in practice. When all the tests are finished successfully, the component's series run can commence. Lots of different technologies are applied to this. The vacuum molding machine makes accurate, detailed bodywork moldings. The CNC milling robot produces individual components at a very high level of precision and prefabrication. The balsa parts, delivered from Graupner's subsidiary Ibagué in Ecuador, arrive being already sorted due to their weight classes. Now they will be further manufactured. After passing the quality checking process and prior to shipping, the completed kits are stacked to this high-shelf system. The automatic state-of-the-art OSR warehouse management system is a very significant one. About 9,000 different small parts are stored here. Being computer-controlled, they are transported to a task center. On that very efficient system, orders can be processed very quickly. The target is a 24-hour delivery service. Competent service technicians are responsible for product maintenance, repairs and the servicing. Graupner offers their own showroom with more than 350 square meters of exhibition space. The items on show include fixed-wing model aircraft and helicopters, model boats and cars, also radio control systems, power plants and many supplementary parts and accessories. On the world's greatest toy fair in Nuremberg, Graupner presents new products on just 1,000 square meters. So every year the company offers their innovations to international experts and to prominent persons. To mark the company's 75th anniversary, Graupner is introducing the Monsoon, a fixed-wing model aeroplane. That 1/3 scale power model is also eligible as a superb glider tuck. Another unique item is a 24-karat gold-plated radio-controlled bulldozer on a scale of 1 to 14.5. That genuine collector's item is available in a limited edition of just 75 units. 75 years of Graupner. 75 years of modeling innovation and technology.